What's up, Landshark Nation? Victor here, and today I'm very excited to announce an all-new series that I'm starting. And this one is going to be websites that you guys should know as a fisherman, as an outdoorsman, and these are gonna be my top picks of websites that I've used over the years to not only meet people, but I've just learned so much by frequenting these websites over the years. So without further ado, the first one we're gonna go over is forums, and now I'm talking about fishing forums. So what fishing forums are they're basically like communities where there's different sections. One of the big components of forums is reports, so fishing reports. And this is a great tool to utilize because if you're new to the state or you're new to the area or planning a vacation to come to Florida, and let's say you want to frequent Fort Lauderdale or Deerfield Beach or something, you can go on these forums and you can go and see what people have been catching, and so you can plan your trip accordingly. You'll know what to bring. And this isn't just for out-of-state people. If you're a local guy and you're trying to see what's biting, what's in the area, you can go and visit these reports. Forums also are great places to meet people. You have a username, kind of like Facebook, where it develops a sense of community because you go there, it makes something so unpersonal personal, and you're able to meet people. I've met a lot of people through forums. I've met a lot of my best friends today because of a forum. So with that being said, that's a good thing for community. And not to mention, it's a good buy and sell or trade. There's a lot of sections on forums that deal with this. So if you're looking to buy stuff, if you're looking to sell stuff, and especially a lot of niche items, like let's say in the land-based fishing community, you can't really find these other than these forums. Another thing that forums provide is a lot of how-tos. Believe it or not, just like my channel, I try to provide a lot of good content for you guys, and I try to put out, informative stuff. Well, a lot of people on forums will actually write a lot of good how-to articles. Another thing, a lot of forums host tourneys. A lot of tournaments will be hosted on a forum where you will post pictures or you will enter the tournament through a forum. So it's a good place to learn about tournaments. Another thing, recipes. If you guys love to share your recipes, or if you guys want to learn about recipes, forums are a good place to learn about recipes. So other than that, the community, you meet people. And I think another thing that's really cool about forums is, there have been plenty of times where you're just bored at home, there's nothing on TV, you can just go and look through forums, and there's a lot of fish stories on there. You'll go look at reports of years past where people just kill it, or there'll be a really big landslide report of a year, and you can just go and look through that forum, and you can just go and, look at fish stories, look at pics, look at videos that people have posted. So forums, as you can see, are something that I frequent a lot and something that I have learned a lot from over the years. The first forum I want to talk to you guys about is boatlessfishing.com. And this one is really personal to me because I honestly attribute so much of my fishing knowledge and so many of the great people that I've met over the years through this forum. It really, it really laid the foundation for me as an angler, because I didn't know anything about saltwater fishing. I didn't know much about fishing at all. And just like a lot of you who are watching these videos, you come here and you want to learn, and that's what I did. I went to this website, and so you create your username, and you are able to post reports, you're able to interact with people, you're able to message people, and you just learn from a lot of the old-timers. And a lot of the old-timers were actually very willing to help you. There's a really good land-based shark fishing section on this website. It's a gold mine for the land-based fishermen as far as articles, as far as reports. There is a lot of people on this website that just throw information at you, and you gotta take it. You gotta learn it. You gotta learn as much as you can when it comes to the world of fishing. And there was an excellent buy and sell and trade section on there for, like I said, there's a lot of niche items, especially in the land-based fishing community, where you can't find them on Amazon, you can't find them on eBay, you can't find them on a lot of websites. So it was a great place to find old school items that you would never find. The countless fish stories on there are just a ton of good write-ups and a ton of old school guys who, you know, I really looked up to, and they wrote some amazing reports, and, you know, you just heard of things of sharks on bridges, and it just really inspires you to get out there, because it forces you to get out of your comfort zones. Because what you do is you go to this forum, and you know, you end up just not fishing the pier. You see what someone is doing in this area, and in this area, and in the Keys, and in the Panhandle, and you go, oh, I want to do that. So, you know, instead of going out there blindly, now at least you have a little bit of base of knowledge, because what you would do is you would message this person who's really familiar with that area and say, you know, hey, if I want to come up there, what do I need to bring? What do I need to do? And, you know, some guys would be standoffish and they wouldn't tell you anything, but a lot of other people, they'd be, you know, come here with open arms, and, you know, they'll put you on fish or they'll help you. So it's a great place to learn, especially for the land-based fishermen. So if you guys are big into the snook game, shark game, or the whole land-based fishing world, pier fishing, this website has a lot of good information, and a lot of the information on there is saved from years and years back. It's not deleted. So definitely, and especially if you're planning on vacationing to Florida, it is something you definitely have to check out if you're planning on doing a lot of land-based fishing. All right, the second forum I want to note is southfloridasharkclub.com. Now, this is honestly probably the biggest shark fishing and biggest land-based shark fishing website in the entire world. And it is actually located and centered around South Florida. But the great thing about this website is it's reports from all around the world. So you get to hear of amazing catches from Australia and New Zealand and South Africa. And it's a really good community with a lot of good people. And if you guys have no idea what to do when it comes to land-based shark fishing, I mean, other than the information that I put out here on my videos, it is a great place to learn. There is a ton, and I mean a ton of information, from tackle, gear, bait, what beaches to fish, tides, moon phases, the list goes on. I mean, just areas to fish, when and where to be at different times of the year. There's a lot of old school guys on there who are pretty willing to share their base of knowledge with you. And, you know, like I said, it's kind of like that Boatless fishing website where you create your username, and it just you develop a sense of community where, you know, someone will post a report, and you will go and comment, hey, nice work, man. Oh, stud fish, badass fish, man. And then people become more and more familiar with you. And in a sense, you get to know this person through a computer, but then when you might see them one day in real life, you know, you already have that connection with them, and they'll be a lot more willing to take you under their wing, or to, you know, talk to you about a certain fishery. So, like I said, I think the community aspect with forums is the biggest thing, where you really get to learn. Not only do you get to learn, but you get to meet people. And like I said, so many of my friends are because of these forums. And then the people I met through those friends, it's just astounding. So South Florida Shark Club, if you're into land-based shark fishing, or if you just want to look at a bunch of badass reports and see a bunch of big sharks caught off the beach, that website is just full of good old school pics. The guy who runs it, William Fundera, does a really good job. There's old school pictures and reports from the 70s, 80s, 90s. So if you're just bored, like I said, so many times I'll just go and frequent these forums where I'm bored, and you just want a fish story, you just want to have something to look at. It's better than watching Netflix, so go look at this website right here. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about today is floridasportsman.com. So this is a forum that's more geared around the offshore fishing scene and the boat guys. There are some land-based fishermen on there, but this is mostly for the boat guys. And like I said, the sense of community on here is very strong. You have people who have been on this forum for decades now. I think this forum's going on probably close to 2 decades now. And, you know, the sections range everywhere from the Keys all the way up to the Panhandle, all the way up to Jacksonville area. And, you know, so if you're someone who's coming and planning a vacation from out of state, want to get some local knowledge, you come onto this website, you learn about the offshore game. Or if you're someone like me who's, you know, lives down here and you just want to get a report, let's say I'm going out of Hillsborough Inlet this weekend and someone said they crushed the mahi or the tuna, I kind of get a sense of an idea of what to do, what's in the area. People post where the bait's at. You know, there's always gonna be those guys who don't wanna give out any information, which I understand. I don't give out a lot of information either. Like I said, so if you're into the offshore game, this is one you really need to check out. It's kind of like Boatless in South Florida Shark Club, where you have the reports, you have the how-tos, you have a buy, sell, and trader section, you have a recipe section. It's all kind of the same layout, the same community, but this one's definitely geared for the offshore guys. And like I said, it's also just a great place to find fish stories. But the Florida Sportsman forum, which is actually cool because it's actually run by the magazine Florida Sportsman. So that whole website, aside from the forum, there are, I mean, countless and countless articles when it comes to offshore fishing, land-based fishing, written by a lot of good, well-known people in the fishing world. So definitely check that website out. Definitely check that forum out. But one take-home message, guys, for this is forums, if you're new to the area, and I think that's what I'm really going at, and I kind of see after making this video, is it's a great place to really come into a community and really learn a fishery when you're kind of blind and have your hands tied behind your back. Because let's face it, you know, no matter how good you are, the local knowledge you get from someone else is never going to be replaced. Going out and doing something on your own is easier said than done. I'm always about that, and you know that's what I always preach to you guys. I like to do things on my own. But sometimes you need a helping hand, and forums really provide this helping hand, and they really provide, you know, that foundation, that knowledge that you need to learn an area, to learn a fishery. Alright guys, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I provided some useful information, because that's what I'm all about. I'm always looking out for the Landshark family. I know what a struggle it is when you're, you know, first starting out, or even if you're not starting out. You know, just knowledge is power, and to become better at something, you got to do it over and over and over again. And that's the same thing with fishing. So the more you know, the more knowledge you add to the toolbox, the better you become, the more confident you become, and that's what I'm all about. I want to help you guys, and you know, I'm always looking out for you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to say something, give it a comment. But I'll be seeing all you guys, my Landsharks, in that next video.